Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's fastest half-mile. No other place where the speed, intensity, and pure adrenaline come together like this.
Strategy, he pulls over. Lamani is sideways, but wins the race, crashes, and he wins anyway. How about that?
Here, it's not just racing, it's battle.
Lamani takes the lead. Here comes Earnhardt. He hits Lamani. Lamani spins in turn two. Ricky Rudd crashes into him. Tony Stewart crashes into him. Earnhardt heads back into turn three.
Expect chaos, expect drama, expect short track racing at its best.
Probably a little too hard. Tony not very happy. Whoa. Yeah. Gosh, looks familiar. Well, we know what Tony thinks.
Tonight, live, only on Doghouse Racing TV, the Group 6 Cup Series is here at Bristol. The race, the legend. We are live.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here from the Great Coliseum, the Bull Ring, Bristol Motor Speedway. As always, my name is Hunter Foley, and I'm up here with my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, and we are so excited to be bringing you tonight's race from Bristol here in the Group 6 Cup Series for Doghouse Racing League. As always, before we get started, want to make sure we give a huge shout out to our sponsors as we get this thing ready to go. We are running the Nap Daddy Racing Designs 250 here tonight. This is the Group 6 Cup Series here in the Doghouse Racing League. So first of all, huge shout out to Group 6 for being our series sponsor this year. Group 6 is a leading creative agency. They are passionate about crafting cutting edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com. That is GROUP, the number 6, INC.com, and see how they can drive your digital success. Special thanks to Group 6 for being the series sponsor this year. As I said before, this is the Nap Daddy Racing 250 here. Myself and John make up Nap Daddy Racing. Originally started as an iRacing design shop back in 2024. We have expanded to try to be your one-stop shop for all of your iRacing needs. Be sure to check out our website at napdaddyracing.com. That is KNAPPDADDYRACING.com for all of your custom design, template, or logo needs. And be sure to also stop by and grab some of the free content that is there available as well. If you're not into iRacing yourself, be sure to grab yourself a t-shirt or a hat, help support the brand. Check us out here on Doghouse Racing TV on Thursday nights, our own YouTube channel, Nap Daddy Racing, on Mondays, and live on TikTok as much as we can. We are extremely proud to be a part of the Doghouse Racing League. Doghouse Racing League is also proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Make sure you stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. We are also proud at the Doghouse Racing League to be sponsored by Butt Kicker. If you need to take your iRacing experience up to the next level, check out the best name in racing haptics with Butt Kicker. You can go over to their website at thebuttkicker.com and really take your iRacing experience to the next level with their wide variety of products. Be sure to check them out at their website and pick yourself up something today. Thank you to Butt Kicker for being a part of the Doghouse Racing League. Thank you to everyone for being out in the chat and in the stream tonight. We believe we have 9 people in here already. Be sure first and foremost that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the action that we have coming up for the rest of the year here in our Group 6 Cup Series here on Thursdays or any of the other exciting racing action that we have throughout the rest of the week. Be sure that you like the stream. It helps out a ton with the algorithm. And be sure to be in the comments, be cheering on your favorite drivers. We will be reading those out live on stream as always. I know we always like to hear the feedback either on us and on the race and stream, and I know the drivers love being able to go back and hear their loved ones back home cheering for them. As always, we do have BMAC already in the chat saying away we go. Best of luck to Team Beast Mode. Have a great race, Andrew. Always in the chat cheering for Beast Mode and Andrew St. Cour. Let me quit hogging the microphone here. Let me turn it over to my broadcast partner, John Smith. And let's talk about Bristol. What can we expect to see tonight?
I was going to let you have it, man. You were doing a fantastic job there. My mic was on mute to begin, but yeah, excited for Bristol. I really like Bristol a lot. It's one of those tracks that I personally do pretty well at. Some people either understand it very well and some people don't. There's, let's say, 3.5 lines here that you could possibly run throughout the night, and you're going to see that line change over the course of the race. Some people might come in a little bit lower. I think you're going to see that earlier on. Some people might float high like we're seeing here in practice, starting that mid-entry, float high and diamond out. And some people just might ride the middle. It just kind of depends on where the traffic's at and how your tires are doing. But it's going to be an interesting one. Got to try to keep it off the wall here. Keep the tires underneath you to get to the finish.
100%. And we are looking at 102 on the track temp tonight. So it is liable to be pretty slick out there, but I know you just talked about it. We are going to see lots of different lines out here tonight. There really isn't going to be a lot of time difference necessarily based on where you're going to be running. One side's not purposefully faster than the other. It's really just where you feel most comfortable and where you like to ride it. You do have 4 more degrees of bank up there at the top of the track. So again, with the track probably being a little hotter and being a little bit loose tonight, it's probably liable to be slick up there, but sure to be some speed as well.
Yeah, we're going to just jump straight in here to qualifying tonight. Seeing who's going to get out the track first. Looks like it's going to be Adam Gardner in the 56 car. Going to take his chances here first. I expect to see his first lap probably more of a clean lap. You don't want to hit the wall on your first one just in case you hit the wall on the second one. If you hit the wall, it would disqualify your time. I know if there was no scrutiny, if you do hit the wall, you can gain a little bit of advantage. So that's kind of why they do that here. Believe it or not, if you pop the wall kind of coming out of either 2 or coming out of 4, you do gain a little bit. It kind of throws you back down to where you need to be. So Gardner keeps it straight off the wall for the first lap. And we're going to see where people start lining up at. Oh, as he spins coming out of turn 4 there.
It's just a little slip. Nothing to be concerned about. One thing I was going to kind of take notice of here, I was taking a look at the practice times that we were seeing before the qualifying got started here. We have a huge variation. Oh, as we see, it looks like Andrew St. Cour go around there in qualifying.
Looks like he's still going to be sitting P6 right now as it stands. I'm looking at Zach Michaels sitting P3, trying to capitalize on that.
We had a huge variation in times here. We were even seeing that during qualifying. Our current pole sitter is going to be Chris Leftwich from the Shoney's Racing Team. Has a 14.5, which is blazing fast here at Bristol. And then we have that going all the way back to, I believe, 15.3 is our current slowest qualifying time.
It looks like Jennings is coming out here. He's going to take the top spot. And as soon as I say that, Jamie Horn takes the pole position.
14.534.
That is fast.
And then it goes back the other way. Jonathan Jennings taking that pole spot with a 14.49. Which, for the record, obviously this is qualifying, not a actual lap during the race, but the current fastest NASCAR lap, at least from what I was able to look up, during a race was Kyle Larson with a 14.945.
When did he set that?
That was 2018.
I believe that might have been when the whole Larson line came about for Bristol.
I think that might be true.
Yeah, that's where Kyle Larson kind of ran that line where you start in the middle and you float to the top, just barely get to the top, and you can punch it out pretty well here. You can kind of get in the gas a little bit earlier here than you would think. Um, it is tight corners, but the banking kind of helps you get around the track a little bit better, make the turns smoother. It will tear up your tires, and you can slide up to the top, which will burn it even more, similar to what we saw at like a Las Vegas track almost. Even a Charlotte, you'll see something similar. Darlington for sure, but it's similar how you will kind of slide and you'll burn the tires without really noticing you're burning the tires too much until all of a sudden you have no straight speed and it's kind of too late. People are just zooming around you.
It is definitely going to be interesting to see. I believe we had 26 drivers put a lap down for qualifying. We do have an additional 5 drivers that I can see that did not put down a qualifying lap, but they are at least logged into the session, and we can assume that they are going to be racing. So we will have up to 30 drivers out here on the track tonight.
Yeah, and I'm not showing anybody else coming out for qualifying right now. So I'm trying to fix our NASCAR tower over here. That's kind of glitching out on me just a little bit, but you can see your top 10 at least. In that 8th spot that's got somebody overlaid is Zach Michael in that 34 car driving for the Horn Simpson race team. And Jamie Horn, who owns the team, is not driving for them. He is driving for Elite Motorsports, Elite Southern Motorsports, and he's sitting P2.
And we will, as soon as we get everyone gridded up and back on track, we will get your qualifying results on screen for you to take a look at. But again, be sure that while we are getting this thing going here, be sure that you leave a like again and subscribe to the Doghouse Racing TV channel so that you don't miss any of the action tonight or upcoming. And make sure that you're hooting and hollering in the chat for these drivers. I know they really appreciate it. So going to be very, very exciting to see how this thing goes tonight. The Doghouse Racing League is traditionally going to be one of the cleanest driving leagues have ever seen. Period, end of sentence. I've seen them go multiple weeks without any cautions. When we had that race at Martinsville earlier this year, it was kind of the opposite. We had 23 cautions, I believe, that race. So, going to be interesting to see how the boys respond to short track racing again tonight. I do feel like Bristol is a little bit less hectic than Martinsville, a little bit more speed, a little bit more room, but we'll see how she pans out.
Yeah, and out here watching qualifying now, we're riding along with Jamie Horn, not qualifying, but the warm-up session. He's taking that low side, probably getting a nice race pace feel for it, where he's not trying to run a hot lap here, but just see how the tires are going to handle, making sure he's in his rhythm. This is a very rhythm-based track, much like Darlington is as well. And we kind of noted that last week when we were at Darlington, but Bristol is very much a rhythm, and you have to be in your rhythm and in your zone to get around here and be fast. If you slip up one little bit, it can mess up the next lap, which should in turn mess up the next lap as well. So it just feels like you're kind of doing a repetitive motion over and over again, but if you miss it at all, you're going to see a significant difference, especially getting out of these corners, driving with your feet a lot, pushing the gas and make it rotate. If you rotate too far, that wall at the top is going to come out and grab you. We'll probably see a lot of that tonight coming out of turn 4 and turn 2.
And this is definitely going to be a track where you're going to be seeing these drivers. If you have a spotter up in the booth, it's going to be super, super important to your success here. Or if you are just really going to be kind of driving out of your mirror, really making sure that you're keeping an eye on your surroundings. It does get a lot tighter through these corners, and the banking does go up the higher up on the track you go. So if you're sliding up to the top and there's somebody up there and you try to hold it off just a little bit, you are going to find yourself going around pretty quickly, and that's how people usually end up getting into trouble at Bristol. You go around in one of these turns, you end up kind of sitting in the middle of the track right as you're coming into the straightaway, and then all of a sudden you got 6 cars piled up.
Yeah, and I'm trying to pan through some of the drivers now through the cockpit views just to see what kind of gear setups we're running here. You know, I'm a sucker for a gear setup, but looks like everybody's going to be running probably fifth gear tonight and just leaving it there. I have seen in the past where people have tried a 4-gear setup at this track, but I personally think that the 5-gear setup where you're just staying in 5, you're not shifting at all, is beneficial to this place to help you get around here. I'm interested to see what lines people end up running to, because I've seen a video today actually of a guy comparing the two lines, the high side versus the low side, and really there's no difference from what he's showing in time. Maybe a little bit faster on the high side, but really it's about feel and how good it feels. And that's the same thing with these open setups. You can go out and get a setup that will make your car maybe a little faster, but it's basically how well it fits the driver. So these drivers in these open setups are making it so it fits their race style better so they can be faster. You can't just go out there and buy a setup that's going to give you 10 more miles an hour. Can't go buy one that's going to win a race every single time, but you can buy one that's going to help what feels better to you, and also critique your setup so it feels really nice.
Yeah, exactly like you were saying there. When you are running, Stutter's coming out to play tonight. That's gonna be fun. When you are running those 5th gear setups here at Bristol, like you said, you're gonna be driving with your feet a lot, having those extra RPMs to kind of be able to swing it around the corner. Because if you're gonna be getting into the brakes too much here at Bristol, that's when you're really gonna find yourself getting ate up, especially on that low line. You see some people that try to just stick right on that yellow line the whole way around. And that's just going to be really hard to maintain as the race goes on. It's just you're going to start to see the high line start to open up a lot more and a lot more speed up there.
Yeah, especially for passing too, because if you're running the high side, you can stay in the throttle just a little bit longer before you get to your brakes there, and your braking point is going to be a little bit further down the stretch. There's a great Dale Earnhardt Jr. quote from his dad, actually, Dale Sr., who was telling Junior how to run the track and telling him how early you had to get out here, because he was running it in and hard on the brake. And I've seen the video of this, he's almost letting off the gas as soon as he crosses the start finish. Now with these new cars, you don't really have to let off that soon, but you're going to have to let off a little bit sooner, especially as the run goes on, if you really want to protect those tires and save and be able to get to the bottom side and hold it down. Especially in the bottom, because I think the bottom is where we're going to save most tire at here tonight.
One of the things I am noticing about these guys out here in their warm-up laps, first and foremost, they're putting down absolute smoke laps. We have several drivers that have beaten their qualifying time out here in their warm-ups. But I think one of our original points, that it was going to be a little slick out here tonight, is coming true. I have seen at least 4 people out here in the warm-ups just get a little bit loose going out of especially turn 2 and end up spinning it into that lower wall.
Yeah, if I had to place a bet, that's going to be the first caution. It's going to be coming out of turn 4, somebody getting into the gas too much and spinning it. I have been victim of that actually in the Doghouse Racing League about a year ago. I was actually having a good run, man. I was in 3rd place or something like that near the end, and just punched it too hard on fresh tires coming out of that corner, and there was my night.
And like John talked about, you need to find your rhythm, and you need to find it early, because when you start messing up that rhythm, you get out of the gas a little bit too early, you get out of the gas a little bit too late, whatever the case may be. That's the difference between either being able to make a pass and keep moving up through the pack, or, being right near that Bass Pro Shops logo down there on the bottom.
Yeah, there is a little bit of wind here that might play a little bit tonight as well. It is a bowl, so it kind of does block out wind, but if the wind gets inside, it will affect the car quite a bit, actually. And it looks like it's blowing 260 degrees, which is almost a west wind for these guys. I'm not sure how that's going to play. I don't really know how the track sits now that I say that.
I was going to say, you very conveniently have the weather there on the side while we're trying to say it, and everyone at home can just read it.
Absolutely. Working my best to get the overlays, but while we're here, let's pull up some keys to the race, man. First key that I've got for tonight's race is definitely going to be track position. You're going to see some wrecks for sure here. You don't want to be behind the wreck when it happens, because you're going to get caught up. If you get caught up early, that's going to end your night early. There's going to be the damage model for iRace has increased, so if there is a wreck, you're likely to spend more time on pit road doing optional repairs. And for these cars, if they take damage even over like 2 minutes of optional, you're going to see the car a lot more loose. Speed might not be affected as much, but you're not going to be able to get into the throttle as hard. Getting into the turn and hitting the brakes will usually spin the car with a little bit of damage to the front side. But second point that I have here is to minimize the slide. When you're coming in, you're going to run the top side, you're going to slide up to the top. You want to watch how much you do that. That's where you're going to be making a lot of passes at and seeing a lot of passes. Probably going to be on this high side, but you don't want to slide up too much and burn those tires and suffer some straight speed there. And then my third point is be able to adapt to plans, or adapt your plans to new plans. Just because the strategy is working now doesn't mean it'll work later. You're going to see pit strategies that go completely out the window with these cautions that come out. So these guys are going to be able to adapt and able to get to the very front and stay in the front to win this race.
Yeah, I think that last point goes directly to what we were talking about just a few minutes ago, where I've sat and watched 3 different Doghouse Racing League races, and none of them had a caution, or they might have had one. And then you get on some short tracks, you end up in a weird situation, whatever the case may be, and all of a sudden you're 10 plus cautions. And if you only really planned to have those long runs, and now you have to have short run speed, you got to be able to get back in the throttle and be able to still move forward through the pack without having a ton of time to do it. If you haven't thought about that, you haven't planned for that, then you're going to find yourself in trouble here. So I think, like you said, being flexible to the plan, flexible to where you want to take your car is going to be, I think that's probably going to be what would be my major key to victory here tonight.
Right, and as we end the warm-ups here in a few seconds, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the point standings for everyone at home to see. On your screen there, you can see that our current points leader is Jamie Horn, who has got his 1 win here. Interesting to see, because if you go back, Shane Parrish has picked up 2 wins. He is sitting P7 or 7th place in the points. And I'm trying to find Britt McCoy in 4th, who has also got 2 wins. These are our only 2 double winners or dual winners here in the Doghouse Racing League for the Group 6 Cup Series. 2nd place, Seth Fitzpatrick, knocking on the door of a win. Been there really close all year. Same thing for Andrew St. Cyr in 3rd. He's due soon. So Britt McCoy 4th. Adam Thompson, your winner at Darlington last week. Same for Justin McMahon. Has not picked up a win yet, but is due. Had 2 podium finishes in a row at 2 tough tracks. So interested to see what he's going to do tonight as well.
It is going to be very interesting. And again, the Doghouse Racing League, in terms of points, obviously you get the points for winning the race. You get points for leading a lap. So it doesn't matter whether you led 80 of them, doesn't matter whether you led 1 of them. You get points, a set number of points for leading in the race. And then you also do get points based on stage end. This isn't a traditional NASCAR stage where you bring it down pit road. It's just whoever's leading the race at the end of the stage. Our stages are at 63 and 125 tonight. And the winner of those stages will receive some bonus points as well.
We are currently waiting for our 2 second place and 3rd place qualifier to ready up. But while we're doing that, would you like to grid us off?
I think I can do that. Your pole winner here tonight for the Nat Batty Racing 250 is going to be Jonathan Jennings with the Shoney's Race Team, starting in 1st place. Jamie Horn right behind him in 2nd. Chris Leftwich in 3rd place. Kevin Thompson 4th. Zachary Miller 5th. Justin McMahon 6th. Eric Anderson 7th. Zach Michael in 8th. Adam Thompson in 9th. Mike Leftwich 10th place. Seth Fitzpatrick 11th. Andrew St. Cyr with Beast Mode Performance in 12th. Cameron King, I believe our first Hot Laps Heroes car on the track, is 13th. Matthew Paddock 14th. Eric Mormon 15th. Tony Martin 16th. Chris Simon 17th. Bill Hull 18th. Adam Gardner 19th. Brian Dixon is your 20th place qualifier. Stephen Bonomo 21st. Gary Armijo 22nd. Nick Shell 23rd. Mark Dumont 24th. Brian Messer 25th. Joe McKnight, 26th. Logan Powers, 27. Josh Cully, 28th. Gary Maydew is going to be 29th. Bill Gentry, 30th. And Richard Leclerc, 30th. And I believe that last part is right. I think we might have had some people back out of the session, but as far as I can tell, that's correct.
Yeah, I don't see Gary Maydew has gridded up, so he will not be at least starting. He still has a chance to grid up. He will miss the first lap and have to sit in his pit stall until the pace car comes around, but maybe he will jump in here soon.
Either way, going to be very exciting to see how this one plays out. Got Sean Thompson in the comments saying good luck to Kevin Thompson. Expect to see a good finish out of him tonight. Starting out of the 4th place, and as we talked about earlier, positioning is going to be very, very important for these drivers here tonight. We are going to be making our picks here in a second for who we think is going to actually bring home the checker flag, but a couple of points I wanted to make really quick before we get started on just maybe some people to watch out for. Eric Warman starting back in 15th and Josh Cully starting back in 28th. We've seen both of those drivers all year long qualified to the mid to the back of the pack and are always in the top 10 at the end of the race. So be on the lookout for them to be some big movers here tonight.
Yeah, if we're going to make our picks, I'm not picking Adam Thompson. I told him that last week I wouldn't, just for good luck. It seems like everybody we pick does not win, but I'm feeling it. We're going, I guess, 1 for 7 here tonight, or 1 for 8. Pace car is off.
And we are green flag racing. Great jump out of Jamie Horn on that low side. Looks like these guys are doing an excellent job of keeping it together as we get started moving around the track here. So funny to see everyone start to develop their different lines and see who has kind of that immediate speed and who's maybe waiting for some of those longer runs. First caution.
Looks like Matthew Paddock. They can catch up to him. I don't see anybody else involved. Might have been a single car accident.
That was Matthew Paddock who went around there. Who did you say you wanted to take as your winner for tonight?
I haven't picked yet. Well, I have picked in my head. I haven't said it yet. Looks like Tony Martin just got to the inside of Paddock there, spun him into the inside wall. He does clip the wall just a little bit. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough damage to cause too much trouble. I certainly think he can get that fixed under caution.
We do see Matthew Paddock coming down pit road.
Let's see if we can get to Tony Martin's cockpit cam here. Yep, that's going to be some trouble tonight. Just trying to keep it down and not float too high when you come up off that turn.
And Tony Martin is going to be taking the EOL for that accident there.
It's interesting that Paddock is taking 4 tires right now. I'm not sure if he meant to do that or if he just had it selected already. But yeah, Paddock with 4 tires on lap 6.
Ready to get out there and get going fast again.
I reckon so.
And he is going to at least go a lap down, as the leaders did just go around him there. But
2 people that did take advantage of that caution is Kevin Thompson and Zach Michael. Kevin Thompson moved up 1 spot. Zach Michael has moved up 4 spots just from the start of the race. So if we want to start talking about biggest mover candidates, Zach Michael has got a case right now. But I guess to be the biggest mover, you got to start a little bit further back. So I'm not sure if 8 spots tonight will get him that award. But right now he has moved up 4 spots just within, I guess, 7 laps, 5 under green. And he's looking to get up to the front.
Since you always make me go first anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and throw out who I think is going to be our race winner tonight. I think Zachary Miller's got a really good shot at it tonight. I saw him going through practice, and he looked really fast, looked very confident out there on the track. Didn't have the highest qualifying time. I believe he started 5th, and he's actually fell back a couple positions, back to 8th. But I liked what I saw in practice. He's looked consistent all season long. I'm going Zach Miller, but we are back to green.
Jennings gets out with a really good jump there. Jamie Horn's falling right behind. These two guys have raced together a lot. They understand the driving styles. But look at Zach Michael on a mission, ripping that high side.
He's kind of running that strategy you were talking about. Whoa, what a move! That ride the middle and floated up to the top strategy. I think it might be throwing Horn off just a little bit. I don't think he really expected to see Michael up there, up in that lane.
Yeah, Horn wants to keep it clean just in case Michael does pop off the wall coming out of here, and that's fine. Horn's okay with that right now. I think Jennings is okay with that too, because Zach Michael is on a mission right now to get to the front.
And yep. You might have some people that would be like, oh wow, it looked like they were getting really close there. You know, was Michael pushing it too aggressively? He ran that flawlessly. He didn't touch the wall once. I don't believe he touched another car once. It was an aggressive play for sure. Going to be interested to see how it plays out over the length of a long Bristol race. But, I mean, can't be in first if you never get in first, and he kind of put it on the table right there.
And he has first right now. My only reservation about this whole thing is that it looks like he's might be pushing it just a little hard right now. And I'm wondering if Jennings and Horner are thinking the same thing.
Caution flag.
Another caution. Logan Powers.
Logan Powers, who was running, I believe, in 21st when that caution came out.
Looks like Gary Maydew gets loose off of turn 4 and comes down on top of him. Just spins him a little bit. It looks like Logan Powers' car just snapped loose. He didn't take any damage from that, though, so he'll be able to get it straight and keep going.
He will be able to get it straight and keep it going. And yeah, unfortunate to see there. They were both running really well right before that, but Gary definitely got a little bit loose and got down there on him.
Going back to a bigger mover over that stint was Bill Hull. Currently sitting 14th. He moved up 4 spots here already. Another big mover, Mark Dumont, has also moved up 4 spots as well. He is sitting P20 right now. Richard Leclerc, his teammate, also up 4 spots in 26.
Good to see Leclerc out there moving forward in the pack as well. So I took Zachary Miller. Who are you taking?
I am taking. Am I going to do a trifecta here?
You do you.
Give me Kevin Thompson, P1.
Kevin Thompson, P1.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Thompson from the Beast Mode Performance team. Those guys are due another win here soon. They've all been fast. I think Kevin's got it. P2, I'm going Jamie Horn.
Okay.
P3. You're making this tough. This is going to be a tough race to call here. I'm pulling a wild card because he's back in the pack right now, but we're going with Chris Simon. P3.
Okay.
Simon's usually fast. Bristol is one of those tracks I've seen him kind of hang back a little bit and then just sneak his way up there. He's definitely gave me a run a few times, about every time actually. And Simon's also just improved so much over the past, not just this year, but last year too, just made leaps in his driving ability and skill, and he's always near the front, at the end of the race at least, and just very competitive driver. I couldn't keep up with him Tuesday night.
Pace car is off. Huge jump out of Zach Michael there. Again, please also do keep in mind that we are not taking anything away from these drivers who are currently running up in those top positions. Zach Michael, Jonathan Jennings. Usually we just feel bad about trying to make a pick for the guy that's currently running first. So those guys have absolutely just as much, if not more, chance to win the race, but just it kind of seems like a cheap bet to always take the guy that's running first.
And I don't think we've had many pole winners actually win in this series this year. Now I'm thinking about it.
I think we've had one, and that's it.
So not a cheap bet, a smart bet.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing Adam Thompson touch the wall just a little bit coming out of 4. I believe that is, I can't tell who that is.
I do see a slow car on the inside, and that's actually Zachary Miller.
Zach Miller, that's what I was trying to catch up with.
Looking like he just dropped back about 3 spots there. And then update for everyone at home as well. Matthew Paddock has called it a night and disconnected from the server, so he will find himself 18 laps down in 30th position. Looks like Gary Maydew gave himself a start and park for tonight and will be in 31st.
Mike Leftwich gets passed here by Seth Fitzpatrick in that Piggly Wiggly car. It's a nice looking car.
It is, and Seth's going to be one to watch here too. I mean, he's had 2 different races this year where he's made strategy plays. They've worked out really well. Obviously, a guy that puts a lot of thought into how he's going to run the race. Just the cards haven't fallen his way on those. He's been, I mean, last week he was probably, 5 or 6 laps away. And then a few weeks back, he was maybe a half a mile away from winning.
Yeah, Homestead, he got passed on the last lap by Shane Parrish. Had a unique fuel strategy that worked out until about half a mile left in the race. Maybe even 2 turns left in the race at Homestead. Parrish passed him for the win. And then last week, I believe it was last week, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. He was on the other side of that.
That's right. He was catching Adam Thompson, the only guy catching Adam Thompson. I mean, coming up quick.
Yellow flag is out again.
I see Steven Bonomo.
Oh.
Tony Martin, Nick Shell.
Looked like they had a little trouble getting them started in the middle of the track there. That was almost trouble.
So we're watching Martin bring it down pit road right now, trying to get you a good replay here of this. I don't see a ton of damage on Bonomo's car here. Check in with Nick Shell. Same for him. I don't see a ton of damage. Maybe some on the left front there.
Let's see if we can see what got that thing started. I don't believe we'll have too many people coming down pit road this time around.
Looks like Dumont got on the inside or the outside of the 51 car. Joe McKnight. Joe McKnight coming through, puts it 3 wide for a second. I don't think Dumont knew he was below him. Dumont's coming off the wall just a bit, takes McKnight. McKnight gets into Bonomo.
I think that's a pretty classic example of you get a little locked in trying to run your race, and you maybe try to put your nose somewhere it shouldn't be. You're just trying to run forward. You're not trying to do anything bad, but you get locked in running your race and put yourself in a tough position. And unfortunately, that's trouble for a couple of drivers.
There was another accident behind this one. Trying to see what got Tony Martin here. Oh, Tony Martin gets loose coming off turn 4. Logan Powers gets into the back of him. That's a lot of damage there from Martin. His left tire is pointed to the right.
I was going to say Tony Martin has also called it a night, so he will be our second driver out of the race here tonight.
Well, I can't tell with this new iRacing update here, but I think the pace car lights are off, which means he is coming in this time around. Justin McMahon sitting in P3 right now. P4, actually. I'm sorry, on the outside.
Yep, you're restarting Zach Michael, Jonathan Jennings, Jamie Horn, Justin McMahon, Adam Thompson. And that is your top 5. Again, big jump out of Zach Michael here on that restart.
Looks like Jennings was not expecting that jump to come that quick. For these restarts from yellow, the leader does have control of the restart. He can go anywhere inside of that Geico restart zone. For the first lap of the race, the flag has control of it, so they have to go on the flag. But every restart after that is on the leader, so you can really do some strategy to kind of help yourself get an advantage there as the leader.
It looks like Zach's definitely been taking advantage of that. That's 2 great restarts in a row for him. Obviously has a very fast car out here tonight. Jennings looking like he's holding on to his bumper a lot better this time by as well. It's like Jennings might even be trying to look for a pass here in the next lap or 2.
I think he's going to get it right around, probably not this corner, but the next one. And there's a caution out.
Oh.
I don't think Jennings had the position.
Don't think he did either.
Oh, no. I see Logan Powers, Steve Bonomo. Logan Powers caught up in some bad luck tonight. Bonomo tries to save it and just spins and gets into the wall. Trying to check up. That's another problem you're going to have for some of these drivers, especially at this track. Here's one of them. You can't really see around that A post in your car. So if you're coming into a corner or coming around the corner, you cannot see the wreck on the opposite side.
So that was Logan Powers we saw go around there.
I want to see. It looks like Logan was coming into the curve. And I guess he thought that, I believe that's Leclerc. I think he was thinking Leclerc would take a lower line. Leclerc kind of stayed in that 1 lane up line there. And the Bonomo coming around, trying to check up for the accident. And just spins and gets to the wall. His car might be done for the night.
Yeah, it kind of looked for a second like maybe the 117 of Leclerc went up a little bit, but I'm not really sure that he did. It looks like he kind of held it, which, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of an unexpected line, but I don't really think that he came up. But Nomo's going to have a ton of damage, though.
Yeah, and that's kind of, there's kind of the unspoken rule at Phoenix as well with the dog leg, is that whoever has the track or whatever should have the right of way, I should say. They don't have to let up for you, give up for you. Same thing with any other curve. Like, these guys are allowed to run their line, but you just kind of expect them to run certain lines, and that's kind of what happened with Logan Powers there. He was expecting Leclerc to have a lower line. Not really anybody's fault coming down or coming up. It's just one driver was expecting him to run that one, that low line on the yellow, and Leclerc had other things in mind.
That is going to be our fourth caution of the race so far on lap 41 right now. Nobody has come into pit lane except to fix damage here just yet. But the pace car is going to be off, and we are green flag racing again. Again, great jump out of Zach Michael. Like, Jennings was a little slow off the restart there. Let's Jamie Horn get up there and get that position.
Yeah, Jennings got loose coming out of 2 as well there. Horn's going to throw
You
the
also
block
have
on
Adam
Thompson.
He is. And you also have Adam Thompson up there ripping the high side, looking to make a move. Justin McMahon right behind him.
Another caution.
And there's another caution. Oh, it looks like Adam Thompson touched the wall a little bit there as well.
I have no idea who that is, though. Looks like Leclerc is coming down pit road right now. Let's see if we can find that. There it is. Oh. Leclerc came down just a little bit in front of Armijo, got spun, hits the wall. Shell able to check up in time. Gentry's able to get around as well. And I don't think Leclerc has any steering. It comes back down on top of Shell, gives him a little tap.
Good job by Shell keeping that thing straight there. Yeah, that looks like a broken toe link to me.
Yeah, he avoids the caution, checks up well, and then Leclerc, who has no steering, so you can't fault him for that, just comes back down a little bit and hits Shell after the fact. Kind of some irony there.
Yeah, unfortunate for Leclerc. He'd been running a pretty good race up until that point, been moving up a couple of positions, but can't say for certain, but that does look like a broken toe link to me, and if that's the case, that is a long time of repairs.
Joe McKnight up 12 spots. Haven't really talked about him much tonight, except for the one accident earlier, where I think he got tapped a little bit into somebody else, but up 12 spots, currently sitting P14 right now. And it's not like he's capitalizing off these cautions, because the cautions have happened behind him. So, I mean, he's just making passes himself here.
Good for him. We got Brian Dixon up in 10th, started in 20th position. And then Seth Fitzpatrick, we talked about him a little bit earlier, moved up from 11th to 6th. And then Adam Thompson up into 3rd place from 9th. Zach Michael, our race leader, started in 8th.
Adam Thompson had that dominant win last week at Darlington. He told us the week before that he hates Darlington, and then he goes out there and shows out for almost over half the race.
Mm-hmm. We are about to get this thing back going again. Huge shout out to the sponsors for the race. Thank you to Group 6. Thank you to Nap Daddy Racing, which is us. We are Green Flag Racing. Thank you, Shoney's, and thank you, Butt Kicker, as well. Again, great restart out of Zach Michael.
Jennings.
Better restart out of Jennings as well this time.
Yeah, he timed that one up really well this time. Kind of figured out the strategy of what Michaels was going to do. And I mean, when you're sitting P2, it's almost like a guessing game of when they're going to go. Yep. They can certainly fake you out and make you think they're going to go early, but not really go early. I don't think that's what Zach Michaels is doing there, but it looks like he was just sending it early, and Jennings was expecting a little later.
They are up there fighting for position. Jamie Horn down there on that low side. Jennings looking for his opening right behind him. And then you got Adam Thompson right behind him, which is waiting for his opportunity.
Yeah, Jamie Horn's going to take over first place. I believe he is the team owner for Zach Michael and his car there. That Horn Simpson Racing.
And you've got Zach Michael still up there trying to fight for his position, but Jonathan Jennings is working his way around. You got Adam Thompson just waiting to jump on whatever is left right there behind him. Oh, little touch on the wall by Thompson there.
I was waiting to see
These
if
boys
Thompson
are racing right now.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if he was going to jump down to that low side and make the pass there, but he did not. Fitzpatrick's moving his way up there, though, kind of sneaking up there.
He is, and he's kind of doing the opposite of what these guys are doing. The guys up in front, you're mostly seeing kind of go middle to the high side. Seth Fitzpatrick's more following What you see Jamie Horn up there doing up front, going all the way to the bottom and letting it drift back up as you diamond out. Got Daniel W. in the comments. I wonder if that's our very own Daniel Wilkerson saying, well, this isn't starting out well. Yeah.
Oh, well, speaking of which,
my God.
he just jinxed it.
I should have knocked on wood. I'm sorry, Daniel.
I was about to say it's going as good as a Bristol race could possibly go. I think I went to Bristol 2 years ago when Dale Jr. caught on fire, and they didn't have a single caution, and people were upset about that.
Not sure who exactly that was. It looked like Warman was
I got
slow.
Warman and Messer. Trying to load up a little replay for you here. Yep. Coming off turn 4, get back into it just a little too much, it'll get you loose. Like we saw there with Eric Warman. Like I said earlier, I have been victim of this in this league for this Thursday night series before in the past. You hate to see it.
Yeah, like we talked about, especially when you're entering, right when you're entering or right when you're exiting out of those turns. Any sort of loose, any sort of wobble, especially as close as these guys can get, might result in a bad time. But I don't see too much damage there on either of their cars. Should be fixable, and they should be able to get back out there. I believe Eric Warman self-called the EOL on that one.
Yeah, it was Warman's fault coming out on that high side. Just got a little bit loose there. Probably would have spun into the wall at the bottom side of the track if it wasn't for Brian Messer there. So he probably owes him a drink later, but they can figure that one out after the race. I mean, we
are going to have a little... Oh, go ahead.
There's 2 different ways you're going to spin pretty much coming into this track, and that's one is coming out of 2 and 4 as you're getting onto the gas. It's going to spin that back end from around you, but another one also coming into the corners. If you're coming in too hot and stab your brakes, or either just kind of let off the gas at the wrong time, especially in the turn 1, there's a tiny little bump, little hill going into turn 1 that will upset the car and spin it around. You might see that happen later on fresh tires. Not entirely sure how these next gens are going to handle that, but I know most other series cars, and I'm sure it's the same with this one, it will definitely upset the car coming into that corner too hot and letting off too much.
For sure. And a couple of updates before we get back to green flag racing here. Logan Powers has called it a night. He is going to find himself back in 26th position currently. That is going to fall back a little bit more as he goes more laps down. And we do have a shuffle of our top 5. Jamie Horn restarting in first. Then Zach Michael, Jonathan Jennings, Adam Thompson, Justin McMahon, and we are back to green flag racing. And what a jump by Jamie Horn. Adam Thompson's still looking very, very fast on that high side. I'm beginning to wonder if maybe Zach Michael burnt it up a little bit in the early going. So we're seeing him lose positions quickly here now. Oh, and he's going to get turned. Big checkup. Oh, there's cars piling up behind him.
Watch out, watch out. He spins around. I don't think he saw Leclerc coming and hits Leclerc.
Yeah, Zach Michael was falling back positions there. Couldn't see who got kind of stuck there, but
I believe he came up on the 13 car of Chris Leftwich on that one. And the 14 of Dumont gets into him. Mike Leftwich avoids him. I don't know if he just didn't see Leclerc or what, but he spun it around with Leclerc coming around and got to him. Let's see if we can get a cockpit view here from Zach Michael.
It looked like Zach was sliding back in positions and was trying to find a way to reslot, and there just wasn't anywhere to reslot.
So
We
he will
are
fall to the
under
back.
that caution going to pass over the first stage, and Jamie Horn is going to get those bonus points.
Trying to make sure I write down my scorecard correctly here so I can go back and review later for our race recap next week, which we will get to here in a few.
Jamie Horn going to be taking the outside here on this restart. Zach Michael did take the EOL for that. Unfortunate position he found himself in there. He was losing speed there. Looked like he was just trying to find a place to slot in, and wasn't a spot there just yet, but I do believe that was kind of the nucleus of that caution, if you will.
Well, it's been a fun one here so far. I've had a few lead changes. A lot of guys up there at the front battling forward. We got them doubled up here, about to go green.
Yeah, I'm going to be really excited to see how this continues to play out here. We'll see how people have saved tires and who's still got speed and who doesn't. But back to green flag racing. Big restart out of Jamie Horn. Looks like that high side really got a good jump. Jonathan Jennings pushing in right behind Jamie Horn. Adam Thompson with a good jump as well. He's holding off Jonathan Jennings on that inside lane.
He's got to be careful coming from that inside lane, coming out of the corners. That's where it's the most loose at.
Yeah, it's looking like and we saw Adam ripping the high side earlier. It's looking like he wants to get back up there, but he's got Jennings on that top side.
I think Jennings wants the opposite. Jennings wants to be on that low side too. He knows where you're going to save tire at, keep your straight speed.
Now we see Seth Fitzpatrick coming into the picture. Looking like he's following right behind that line that Jennings is running.
I don't blame him. I would too. Jennings making a pass here for the lead on the outside. He's going to get the lead back.
And he is going to get it. Seth Fitzpatrick's actually going to move. He's going to be fighting for the second position here. Adam Thompson trying to regain his position. Jamie Horn down on that low side now.
And we talked about it early in the race too with Zach Michael, how fast he was going up there to the front. I figured that he probably burned him up there at the end, which is why he was getting past so much near the end of that run he had before the caution. But kind of wondering the same thing about Jamie here, if he maybe put a little too much heat in those tires and melted them down a little bit, or if he's trying to cool his tires off and prepare for a longer run here. A lot of these drivers will send it right before they go into a pit cycle, so try to get as much out of the tire as possible. Definitely different strategies at play.
For sure, and we are going to be seeing them come up on a lap car here. That's Bonomo in front of him, who's been able to get it back out on the track. But he is going to be right there up in front of our leaders, and they're going to be coming up on him here very, very shortly. He's going all the way to the bottom of the track to let them go by.
Good move by Bonomo. This is a small track to have any room to play with, not like Daytona where you could just drop down to the bottom and stay out of the way for a whole backstretch. So
classy move out of him there.
And it's tough giving up a spot like that because you know they're coming around another 14 seconds behind you. So
yep. Got Jonathan Jennings leading this thing still. Seth Fitzpatrick right behind him. Adam Thompson, Jamie Horn, Chris Leftwich. Yellow flag is out. Oh, and it's
Adam Gardner, I believe. If I could find him. Like Adam Gardner, Zach Michael. The 88 of Josh Coley just popped up on my screen here. I just had some very loud thunder outside here, so I'm hoping this holds up.
Yeah, we've been having storms here all day, so hoping to keep the lights on here on the stream, but that was a close one for a lot of drivers there. Those guys were around and right in the middle of the track.
Gardner just got up just a little bit, hit Zach Michael coming out of turn 4 there. I believe everybody else was able to avoid getting caught up. Looks like a lot of people are starting to pit here.
I believe Adam Gardner called the fault on that one. Unfortunate to see for Zach Michael, too. Obviously had a really fast race car here tonight, but now been involved in the last 2 cautions and now finds himself a lap down and in 24th position.
Yeah, unique thing here tonight as well. We are doing the dual pit roads here at Bristol. There's also the single pit road strategy or pit road setup where you can have to enter off of turn 2 and wrap all the way around the track if it was a single pit road. But since it is dual pit roads, drivers can enter either off of turn 2 or off of turn 4, depending on where their pit stall is at. Personally, I prefer the dual pit road strategy. Keeps things a little more broken up where drivers are at. Makes it more fun as a racer, I should say. Might lead to some accidents sometimes, just depending on where people are going and green flag cautions. But I think every driver prefers a dual pit road at Bristol. I would say 90%.
Speaking of pit road, looking like we might have some pit road strategy coming out here to play. We have had a shuffle up in our leaders. Seth Fitzpatrick now in the lead. Got Andrew St. Cyr going to be in the 2nd position. Bill Hull in 3rd. Chris Simon 4th. Gary Armijo 5th. Jennings now back in 8th. Adam Thompson 9th. Jamie Horn 10th.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those tracks that the fuel tank's going to be able to get you a little further than the tires will. So pit strategy is going to come out just to take some tires and keep the car feeling the same way throughout the whole run. But I think the fuel strategy will last you a lot longer than just the 80 laps here.
Just going to be able to see if your tires hold up. They are going green here. Great start out of Seth Fitzpatrick. Seth Fitzpatrick, no stranger to some interesting pit road strategies. It's almost worked for him twice this year. Let's see if it can work for him on the 3rd try.
Watching Brian Dixon right here try to get around Josh Coley on the outside. Gary Armijo left, which gets into the wall just a little bit. Dixon's able to clear him. He's going to move up. Adam Thompson getting past Bill Hull. He's going to try to make a challenge behind Chris Simon over top of Justin McMahon.
Andrew St. Cyr's doing a great job of running up there in that 2nd position, holding his line really, really well. Doesn't look like he has too much trouble right now. He's got Kevin Thompson right behind him. Jonathan Jennings is a man on a mission, though, and is already moving his way back up towards the front.
He's looking low side. Kevin Thompson trying to get a pass here. The high side's going to have a lot of good run coming out of the corners, but Jennings is going to be able to get around the track in a shorter distance, I should say, and probably get a little bit more speed around the corners initially.
I look like these guys are starting to spread out just a little bit more now. And look at Andrew St. Cyr there making a play for the lead. While we are seeing these guys go around out here, we do have 17. Oh, well, it was 17 a second ago. Now it's 16. Oh, we lost somebody. Do have 16 people out here in the stream right now. Thank you so much for tuning in here with us. We really appreciate it. These drivers really appreciate it. Be sure that you're cheering in the comments for your favorite drivers. I know that they appreciate it and like to hear it. Andrew St. Cyr looking like he might get the pass here this time by.
These guys are fighting for every spot up here in the back. Or behind Fitzpatrick, I should say.
Jennings looking for his spot.
Yeah, I thought he was going to put it 3 wide. I don't know if St. Cyr got loose there.
Oh, and it's 3 wide.
St. Cyr's just a little loose coming off 4 in that turn as well.
Yeah, St. Cord was the bottom piece of bread in that 3-wide Bristol sandwich, and that did not work out well for him.
That was a good one. That was good.
Thank you.
That was off the top, wasn't it?
That was.
I didn't know if you've been saying that in your mirror all week.
Bottom piece of bread in the Bristol sandwich. No, he's slid back. It looks like he lost about 6 spots there. Jonathan Jennings trying to make his play for the lead. He's got Jamie Horn looking on the inside as well. Seth Fitzpatrick still holding steady on that top lane. Justin McMahon now up there in the 24 car. He's going to move into 5th place right behind Jamie Horn. He's going to get around Kevin Thompson.
Horn gets a little loose, able to hold it together, though.
And then right back up to the front again, we also have Adam Thompson up there in 6th. He's going to get around Kevin Thompson. Those guys who already pitted look like they have some fresh tires and they're ready to use them.
Leclerc drops to the low side. Lets those guys by. Brian Dixon making a run on Bill Hull here. He thought about sliding up, didn't do it. Josh Culley's falling right behind him.
Adam Thompson looks like he is fast right now. And I feel like he might be a little bit stuck behind Seth Fitzpatrick right now. Seth Fitzpatrick is going to be on those older tires. He's got Justin McMahon down there also trying to work his way up.
Yeah, he's going to follow him through here.
Andrew St. Cord has gotten that car back under control. He is back in 7th.
Checking out the leaders. Jamie Horn's right on his tail. Looks like they're coming up on, that's Mark Dumont in front of them.
One of the things that I feel like we mentioned earlier that we're now kind of seeing come to fruition as well. Back in 14th, even being involved in some cautions, we got Josh Culley in 14th. They've got a little cluster back there around the 14th, 15th, 16th spots that are battling for position as well.
Oh, they just get around Dumont there. Looks like some people got a little loose. Zach Michael falling back, who was leading this race for a little bit. He's about to get past, go a lap down. He's probably got a little bit of damage he's dealing with, if I had to take a wild guess.
He's actually already a lap down.
He's going 2 laps down then. I'm sorry.
He is. But, yeah, he is going to be back there in the 24th position, now 2 laps down.
Bill Hull.
Jamie Horn not giving
Go ahead.
Jonathan Jennings a second apiece here.
Yeah, just flashback here to Bill Hull, who was moving up a lot earlier this race, and now
Yellow
he's falling
flag
back.
is out.
Oh, that's Adam Thompson, Chris Simon, Cameron King, Josh Culley. I wonder what happened here. I know they were trying to get around a lap car. Adam Thompson comes up on Zach Michael, didn't see him, then gets bumped from behind by Dumont there. And it looks like Anderson maybe clipped Dumont trying to get by. Oh yeah, Simon's trying to avoid, pushes Anderson up into Dumont. That's going to cause Simon to take a spin. Bill Hull gets to the side of Josh Culley, and Culley took a hit. After that spin, I don't think that Bill Hull actually hit him. I think if he did, it was netcode, but Culley's door slams right into the side of that pit road barrier.
curious to hear what your thoughts are on that one. Obviously you have Michael a lap down. Looks like he was holding his line pretty well, but you think Thompson didn't see him? Did it look like Michael was where he wasn't supposed to be?
No, I mean, you expect Michael to keep racing. He's doing what he should do. He was staying out of the way as much as he possibly could. You could make the very small argument that maybe Michael should have checked up a little bit for that, let him in for that spot. But I don't fault him a bit for that. It's more just, I guess Thompson didn't know he was clear. If the spotter told him he was clear, he wasn't, but just didn't have the room to come up.
That's what it looked like more to me there as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to fault a guy for driving hard, like after he's been wrecked and he's trying to get his laps back and everything and maintain a spot. Not spot really, but maintain speed, especially if he's staying out of the way like that. Now, if he's right in the middle of the track, that's a different story, but he was doing what he should do, staying at the top, trying to give Thompson the line, but I think it was just a little slip, didn't know where he was at. I don't think there's like any crazy fault there.
We are back to green flag racing here. Big jump out of Jonathan Jennings. You got Kevin Thompson, Jamie Horn, Justin McMahon, and Brian Dixon making up your top 5. Now Adam Thompson, who looked really fast tonight, back in 21st position and a lap down.
St. Cyr, who was at the front, now running in 16th spot. Moving up to 15th, though. Getting around Josh Coley there, Gary Armijo.
Kevin Thompson looking like he got a little bit loose out of that last exit. He's got Seth Fitzpatrick behind him now, looking like he's trying to make a move.
Oh, he's going to get him.
Oh, and they're going to get a little bit tight there. Wow.
Way to hold it together, boys.
Chris Leftwich able to hold that together.
And Leftwich's got some damage on the front, but he's still making a drive to the front. Currently sitting in P6 right now. Trying to get around Thompson.
Chris was involved in one of those earlier cautions.
Thompson's getting loose.
Kevin Thompson loose all the way down at the bottom of the track.
What a save by Thompson there. Good on him.
Great save. I saw him get a little bit loose earlier on. He had lost a couple spots, but great save out of him. It's going to make your top 5 now. Jonathan Jennings, Jamie Horn, Justin McMahon, Seth Fitzpatrick, and Chris Leftwich, who we just saw make that great save. He's got Brian Dixon right behind him. Go back a couple spots, and you've got Chris's teammate Mike Leftwich in 7th. B-Mac out in the comments saying, wow, Andrew, nice paint job.
Yeah, he did switch it up tonight. Kind of got me, too, when I first saw it. But, oh, he got a little loose coming out of turn 4 there. Able to hold it together. Getting around Steven Bonomo. This is not a pass for position there, as Bonomo is a few laps down. 32 laps down, to be exact. Kevin Thompson getting a little loose. These cars are getting pretty loose coming out of these corners now. Seth Fitzpatrick able to get around Jamie Horn. Also got around McMahon when we were flashing back there to the back of the pack as well, or the middle of the pack, I should say.
Currently have 19 cars on the lead lap. Your first car a lap down currently is going to be Adam Thompson in 19th. I did just see him lose about 3 spots right there, though. I wonder if he's having a little bit of trouble with some damage from that last accident.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this track is not as much of that aerodynamic track as your Daytonas or Talladegas or other things like that, but the damage makes the car handle so much differently here. Even just a little bit of damage can change the way this car handles. And again,
we are about to have a change of leader, though. It looks like really quick, though. Sorry to cut you off there, buddy. Looks like Seth Fitzpatrick going to take the lead away from Jonathan Jennings.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you're in such a rhythm that any little change can throw you off here.
You talked about it. Rhythm's everything.
Yeah, you got to find that tempo and that rhythm and just stay in it. This track is a song and dance.
Seth Fitzpatrick able to really start putting some time on Jonathan Jennings as well. Out to almost 0.4 of a second of a lead almost immediately, and increased that this last lap to a half a second.
Try to pull up the pit stop laps here. Fitzpatrick pitted on lap 107. Jennings, Horn, McMahon, Chris Leftwich, Brian Dixon, and Zach Miller. Not Zach Miller, but Dixon, Leftwich, McMahon, Horn, and Jennings all in 78. Looks like Zach Miller and Eric Anderson also pitted on lap 107 to 108.
Eric Warman now going to be your first car a lap down. Well, now it's going to be Bill Hull. 17 drivers now on, or 16 drivers, excuse me, now on the lead lap. Eric Warman, Bill Hull, your first car a lap down, and then Adam Thompson back in 19th.
And that's going to create really two separate races going on here, because you don't, if you are going to go a lap down, you want to be that first car a lap down. That way, if a caution does come out, which probably will happen again, you can get your lap back.
And gotta say right now, I mean, we've talked about drivers burning them up, and we've seen it happen tonight already, but Seth Fitzpatrick has built out a 1.6 second lead, and that's just in about the last 4 laps.
Yeah, he does have some fresher tires by just a couple of laps, maybe a good 20 to 30. But
and they're wrecking in front of him.
He was trying to get through Joe McKnight there. Just does get to the side of him.
They were 3 wide there. Seth Fitzpatrick trying to fight his way through that lap traffic. That should give your lucky dog to Bill Hull, I believe.
Yeah, he was coming up just a little bit. I think Joe McKnight was just a little bit down.
I'm going to see a lot of drivers bring him in here as well. Seth Fitzpatrick, Jonathan Jennings, Jamie Horn, Zachary Miller. I believe most of our leaders bringing it in here. That should shuffle up our top 5 just a little bit. Got K Doggy in the chat saying, "What's up?"
What is
we did also cross our second. Oh, excuse me. We did cross our second stage. I believe that is going to go to Seth Fitzpatrick.
I was watching Nick Shell in his pit stall. He spent about 32 seconds in there, probably repairing some damage, trying to get it fixed.
Huge update here as well. Seth Fitzpatrick came off of pit road there in 3rd place. I'm able to hear the driver chatter. The crowd watching is not, just in case we have any tempers flaring out here. Seth Fitzpatrick trying to take the EOL for that caution, and is going to take the EOL.
Big man move right there after leading the race and being as fast as he was.
I heard McKnight saying that he didn't need to take it since he was the last car on the lead lap, but that's a lot of class out of Seth Fitzpatrick there.
So that's going to make your race leader Zach Miller.
I'm not did he pit?
I don't think he did. I'll pull it up right here as soon as we get going green.
Green flag racing here, back again. Zachary Miller, Andrew St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson, Jonathan Jennings, Jamie Horn making up your top 5.
Oh,
Andrew St. Cyr off to a great restart. Looks like Zach Miller slid a little bit there. Jonathan Jennings
caution
going into
out.
second, but we already have another caution.
That's Nick Shell, who we just saw working on some damage in the pits. I wonder if that has anything to do with it, his car handling. To answer your question, St. Cyr and Miller did not pit. They have been out since lap 108.
Shell get into anybody else there?
Shell looks like he got a little loose coming out of turn 2 there. Hits Bill Gentry in the side. I don't think Bill's going to have too much damage. If Shell was working on damage before that, that's going to set him back just a little bit more, unfortunately. But while we have reached our halfway point, why don't you tell us about our sponsors we got going here?
I could do that. Again, we are running the Group 6 Cup Series here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Group 6 is a leading creative agency. They are passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com and see how they can drive your digital success. Huge special thanks, as always, to Group 6 for being the series sponsor for these guys. This is the Nap Daddy Racing 250. Myself and John actually make up Nap Daddy Racing. Originally a iRacing design shop, we've expanded to try to be your one-stop shop for all of your iRacing needs. Check out the website at napdaddyracing.com for all of your custom design template and logo needs. And be sure to grab some of the free content that's available on the site as well. If you're not into iRacing yourself, be sure to support the boys by grabbing a t-shirt or a hat to help support us. Check us out here on Doghouse Racing TV on Thursdays, on our YouTube channel, Nap Daddy Racing on Mondays, and live on TikTok as often as we can. We are very proud to be a part of the Doghouse Racing League. We are also sponsored by Shoney's. Doghouse Racing League is very proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. We're also very proud to be sponsored by Butt Kicker. If you want to take your iRacing experience to the next level, be sure to check out their haptic response at thebuttkicker.com and enhance your iRacing today. We are back to Green Flag Racing. Jonathan Jennings taking that restart in the lead. Got Zachary Miller right behind him. Chris Leftwich, Justin McMahon, and Brian Dixon making up the rest of your top 5. Zachary Miller immediately moving back a couple spots there, though. Chris Leftwich moving into that second spot.
Yeah, he's trying to rip that high side, get as much speed as he can right now, knowing that they're on different pit strategies. Somebody just wrecked. I heard it, and I can't see it. I'm not sure
Whoever
who
it
that
was must have been able to save it.
I heard somebody hit the wall pretty hard there.
Looked like Bonomo. I saw Bonomo bouncing off the wall a little bit there.
But while we're looking for that, Chris Leftwich is taking over the lead. Jamie Horn's ripping that high side as well, going to take second place. McMahon's going to try his hand at it as well.
It looks like that low side might not be what's working for Jennings right now. He did get a great entry right there. But it's looking like these guys on the fresh tires that are ripping that high side have a ton of speed right through here.
Well, what's hard, too, is whenever you get stuck on that low side and you're riding the stretches a lane down or 2 lanes down, you have to check up a lot earlier going into these turns than you normally would. And the car is not going to be a lot tighter coming in. So you're going to lose a lot of speed there. Not running your normal line, trying to float up to the top, which is why these cars like Jennings now trying to float to the top so he can get his better angle into a corner, find the line that he likes, and rip it out of there. But you'll see like Jamie Horn here having to start low, enter low. It's hard to get a good run there with as tight the car is going to be. Justin McMahon's going to make that pass pretty easily there.
Got Daniel W in the chat again saying good racing when we're green. It has been a very exciting race here tonight. I will say that. Oh, and they're coming up on some lap traffic. See how they're able to negotiate this.
Bill Hull's getting around Cameron King right now. I see Mike Leftwich. Looks like he's making a pass on Fitzpatrick. Zach Michael, the lap car 34 at the top of the wall on your screen there. Staying out of the way. All the leaders are going to go around him. Pretty clean. Somebody we have not talked about tonight who's, I mean, just running a great race right now is Eric Anderson in that 43 car.
Yeah, fought his way back up, slipped a little further back in the pack earlier on tonight, but has fought his way back up. Started 7th, up in 6th right now. Has been doing a great job. You got Brian Dixon up there as well in the 03. Started 20th, found himself up in 5th. Seen him consistently moving his way up through the pack tonight. Currently got 17 cars on the lead lap. Your first car a lap down right now is going to be Adam Thompson.
McMahon's going to try to make this pass here the next few laps. He's trying to set him up, I believe. Want to get onto his inside here.
And something to look out for here, too, depending on how many more cautions we have. It looks like Adam Thompson might have that rocket ship back. He is up right behind Seth Fitzpatrick right now, who is in 7th place, which means that just since the restart, he has moved up from 18th. Still has to find a way to get that lap back, though. Eric Anderson ripping that high side, moving himself up into the 4th position. Justin McMahon trying to look to the inside of Chris Leftwich there. Not able to get it done right there.
And I don't know if Anderson took tires in that last stop. They all pitted, all your top 8 on lap 133, but Anderson did pit on lap 107. I believe they have 3 sets going into this race tonight. So, I mean, even if he didn't take tires, he's running it pretty well right now.
Yeah.
The whole strategy is to find a consistent pace, though, to make sure it maintains throughout the whole race, because we can have some long runs here. Yep. Old Justin McMahon gets into the side of Leftwich. Leftwich is in the wall, riding the top of the wall here. That's going to push Chris Leftwich back. Fitzpatrick's going to get around him now.
And Chris able to get that thing back up and going.
But that's going to make Jamie Horn your new leader. He is out to about a 1.3 second lead. Trying to grow that, but it looks like the man's keeping it pretty steady there. Drawing them in off the corners. Losing a little bit on the straights.
We've seen that a couple times here tonight when a driver gets out in front and is able to get that clean air consistently. They're able to build a pretty fast, consistent lead. Oh, Chris had another big slide. Oh, they're about to take it 3 wide.
They're going to let Chris go through there. Thompson a lap down at least. I know Zach Michael's a few laps down.
Thompson is a lap down, but he is... It looks like he's back to that car he had before the damage. So you have to think was a lap down. So he restarted in 17th position, and he's right there now running behind Chris Leftwich, who's in 7th.
I'm trying to see, but I believe Thompson is the first car a lap down.
By a lot right now, but if anyone else does go a lap down, obviously. And you do have a couple people here in front who are in that danger zone.
Looks like Steven Bonomo, who's already a few laps down, so he wouldn't count. 55, Brian Messer would be the next one, I believe.
Brian Dixon making his way around Eric Anderson there, and he's going to get that pass and get himself into the 4th position. Oh, and they're 3 wide in front.
Yeah, Jamie Horn's going to get around Messer and Miller there. So Zach Miller now, if the caution comes out, your lucky dog candidate. It looks like it's going to change over to Eric Warman now. Horn is just taking him right now.
That is exactly what you did not want to see if you were Adam Thompson.
You got to get some props to Zach Michael here, though. I mean, he's got a slow car because of all the damage. Had a fast car earlier, but has been going multiple laps down just with the state of his car. But he's still out there putting down laps, trying to get as much as he can. And the idea is that you know that if a caution does come out right now and somebody goes, let's say, I guess another 75 laps down, that you will be able to take that spot from them.
Yep. Heard some bickering over the radio there. Was trying to figure out exactly what was going on. And that is exactly why we keep the radio conversations to ourselves, and we can translate them over the broadcast for you all.
Brian Dixon trying to get around traffic here. These cars are a lap down, not for position. Trying to find a lane.
Yeah, Jamie Horn's finding himself kind of up there stuck now. He's behind a pack of cars he has to work his way through now. Jonathan Jennings now looking for his move on Justin McMahon. Jamie's almost worked his way through all of that lap traffic. Oh, the lap traffic's 3 wide.
Oh. And Jennings looks like he's going to be able to pull off this pass here on the inside.
Oh, slow car on the high side.
That's Bill Hull. They're trying to get around there now. Adam Gardner's the next on their list to get around. I believe Bill Gentry's going to be the next car. No, he's a lap down as well. So we have 10 cars on the lead lap right now. Your last one being Andrew St. Cour, following behind Kevin Thompson. I mean, St. Cour and Thompson and Mike Leftwich are about 3 seconds out from being passed here.
Yep. So as we get kind of towards the, more towards the end of this race, you're going to start to see where all that pit strategy we were talking about earlier, the damage that you're going to take from beating and banging this whole race, that's when it's really going to start to take a toll. So you're starting to see these guys that have been more out front most of the evening and been able to kind of push their way forward cleanly. Jamie Horn has almost a 2-second lead, over a 2-second lead actually on Jonathan Jennings. Another 1.5 seconds back to Justin McMahon. 1.2 seconds back to Brian Dixon in 4th. Full second back to Seth Fitzpatrick in 5th. Eric Anderson now 7 seconds behind in 6th. Chris Leftwich, who is in 7th place, is 9.5 seconds back. And Kevin Thompson, Andrew St. Cour, and Mike Leftwich are all over 10 seconds behind, which means they're within 3 or 4 seconds of going a lap down.
Yeah, we're watching Jamie Horn's cockpit camera here. That's kind of the line I was talking about before the race. With these next-gen cars especially, you can kind of enter middle to high, float up to this high side here, right up at the wall, and then you're going to diamond out and try to drive it as straight as possible so you're not on the gas with your wheel turn. Helps the stability of the car as well, but it also just makes you very fast down the straights, especially these RPMs. As you can see, as RPMs reaching close to 8,900, right around the rev limit for these cars. And that's what you want. You want that car to be capping out right as you hit the corners.
And Jamie Horn just still continuing to pilot that rocket ship forward. He's still about 1.8 seconds out in front of Jonathan Jennings. Justin McMahon now back to 5.3 seconds behind.
And Adam Thompson has moved up to 10th place with all this other action going on.
which means that he is now your first car a lap down. After all of these people have been getting past it. Oh no! Jamie Horn and Mike Leftwich get together. That's going to close things up a little bit. Jennings able to gain a lot of time right there, almost half a second.
I believe Mike Leftwich just went a lap down, so he's in that lucky dog position. If you're Mike Leftwich, you're throwing banana peels out the window right now.
We were talking about it a little bit earlier. Adam Thompson must still have a lot of speed left in that car. We've seen Jamie Horn lap about 8 cars in the past 2 laps, and Adam Thompson must just still be working his way directly around them.
Let's try to figure out where Mike Leftwich is in relation. And there's Thompson coming around there, so he's closing the gap. And that's what we were talking about earlier. This is kind of the 2 races that you have going on. Of course, your race for the lead to get that win, the checker flag, but mid-race, you got a race going for the lucky dog position.
I was saying, look at Thompson. He's just looking very patient, but he's still just picking people off.
Thompson's driving like he wants it. Thompson's going to be able to get around him. Eric Warman's loose on the bottom side. It's going to hold up Mike Leftwich.
That was a great turn there by Thompson. He looked like he was thrown way off the line that he wanted to take, and he still worked it right through there.
Taking advantage of that little misfortune for Mike Leftwich there. Got stuck behind Warman. And Jennings has caught right back up to Jamie Horn.
Yeah, that little mishap Horn had earlier there with Mike Leftwich allowed Jennings to really close that in, and there's also not as much lap traffic to fight through. Jennings still showing a ton of speed. Only about a car length there behind of Jamie Horn. Seth Fitzpatrick is going to be your next car on the lead lap, and he's in 3rd, and he's almost 5 seconds behind.
And looking at the pit strategies here, 1 through 6, Horn, Jennings, Fitzpatrick, McMahon, Brian Dixon, Eric Anderson, all pitted on lap 133. St. Cor on 139, but Chris Leftwich there on 133 as well. So these guys are on the same strategy, just seeing who can wheel it out the best. And it looks like Jennings is going to wheel it out right here and get his first place back.
He is. Horn's not going to let it go easy. He's still right there, but I can bet you that there are some guys out here on this track right now that are absolutely praying for a caution.
And if you're Adam Thompson, you're hoping it happens before they get around Leftwich. They're coming up fast on Chris Leftwich here in that 13 car.
I think a lot of these guys too, because I mean, man, that is going to be some chaos if we have to do green flag pit stops here. We got about 48 laps to go, I believe. You have a ton of cars. I mean, you literally have 3/4 of the field a lap down right now. And if they have to go back and do green flag pit stops, that's going to be a really, really interesting wrench to throw in here to see how both the leaders and this pack that's laps down are able to negotiate that.
And I don't know how far they can stretch it, but I do see St. Cor waited until lap 108 to pit. So I'm assuming that might be close to the limit. If all these guys pitted at 133, I mean, there is a possibility that they could stretch it just a few more laps past that. That would be, what am I looking at here? Another 10 laps, so about 118 to 120 laps. I'm not sure if the fuel tank will let them get that far, but wouldn't be surprised to see them try it here.
Chris Leftwich has now gone a lap down, making him the first car. 1 lap down, and Adam Thompson's going to have a way to go to fight his way up there. He's almost a full turn behind him.
Looks like Zach
Top 5
Miller
right now.
bringing it down pit road.
Top 5 right now is still going to be Jonathan Jennings, Jamie Horn, Seth Fitzpatrick, Justin McMahon, and Brian Dixon. Jamie Horn, the only one that's even in spitting distance of Jonathan Jennings. Seth Fitzpatrick is over 6 seconds behind. Justin McMahon, 8.5. Brian Dixon approaching 10 seconds behind. And both Andrew St. Cyr and Eric Anderson over 10 seconds behind. Anderson only about a turn ahead of the leader right now.
And we're going back.
Oh, and there's a car in the wall.
Who was that? I see Gentry down on pit road now.
I think it was Gentry when he was trying to get it down onto pit road.
Green flag still flying. Not what you want to see if you're Chris Leftwich. Probably what you want to see if you're Adam Thompson until you get around Chris Leftwich. As Adam Thompson's bouncing off the wall, coming on the backstretch there. He's trying to catch up to Chris.
I mean, he's been driving the wheels off of it to try to get back up to the front. And he's made up a ton of time, but I don't know if he's going to have anything left in the tank to actually get up there and go get it, which he needs desperately. I think he knows just as well as we do that he is a contender. He's just got to have the chance to do it. If this thing stays green, I don't think he's going to have anything in the tank for him.
Yeah, best case scenario is that he is able to get around Chris here. Caution comes out immediately. He could take 4 fresh tires, and I mean, he would have a shot to win this race.
Jonathan Jennings built up that lead now to almost a second and a half. Jamie Horn back in second. Everyone else still staying about the same. Eric Anderson and Andrew St. Cyr. Now, Eric Anderson a little over 12 seconds. Andrew St. Cyr almost 12 seconds behind. Brian Dixon approaching 12 seconds. That's going to be up to 5th place. So that would be a lap down.
Trying to get some good sounds in here from the racetrack. Working on some of the camera work, looking at our angles here. I mean, Jennings has put his lead up to about 2 seconds now, and then I mean, Seth Fitzpatrick is...
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, I'm
Bill
not...
Holt went right into the back.
I'm not sure what that was about.
Oh, and there things are getting a little hectic in front of Jennings there.
Oh, a little spicy right there.
I believe I saw Bill Holt just get off of pit road, so he's probably got fresh tires out there.
Oh, yeah. He's got those fresh tires, and he's showing it off right now. Definitely got the speed. When you mix fresh tires with not fresh tires, that could create some issues when you get in the pack here. Hopefully he can navigate around.
Look at him fly through the pack.
3
Good
wide.
God. And you're seeing there the difference that fresh tires makes. As long as you can keep them under control. I mean, we've seen Jonathan Jennings out here leading a good portion of this race in a pretty demanding fashion, and Bill Holt's just taking off like a rocket ship.
Yeah, I mean, now Dixon's a lap down. Adam Thompson has passed Chris Leftwich for that spot. But now he's got to chase down Brian Dixon. Dixon looks like he has some damage to that right front as well.
And Dixon is way out there from Thompson.
He's got about a 5-second lead on him, but it looks like Thompson's closing it down maybe about 2/10 a lap.
Close to just saw Mike Leftwich there getting to the wall a little bit.
Unfortunately, I think St. Cour is also about to go a lap down.
He's about there. And Justin McMahon, 12 seconds behind, so.
We might finish this race with 3 cars in the lead lap if it stays green.
I'm curious to see if they have the gas to do it. Because like you said earlier, we saw someone stretch it 103 laps. We're about to hit lap 100.
It was St. Cour who went 108 earlier. All those guys pitted on lap 133, so we know that they can make it, let's see, at least 100 or to lap 241. That would be with 9 to go, but past that, I don't know. It's going to be up in the air.
Past that, it is going to be a gamble.
And St. Cour did go a lap down. Now McMahon's next on the list for Jonathan Jennings. Probably about 3 seconds out from that happening right now. But I mean, Jennings is pushing it. He's coming for him.
I think if I'm Jennings right here, I'm literally just giving it everything I have for these next. What do we got? 19 to go. You built yourself out a 2-second lead. You know you're probably close on gas, so you just got to give it everything you got while you can. And then I think if we do have a caution or something like that, you've got to bring it down, because we've seen just how quickly someone that has fresh tires can move through this pack. We've seen it at least 3 or 4 different times throughout this race. The person with the fresh tires, especially on restarts, I mean, you're able to put seconds on people in 2 laps.
Yeah, but we're looking at Jonathan Jennings' cockpit cam here. If you look at that wheel tape, pay special attention to that and just where it's at. Whenever he's going through these turns, then we'll cut over to somebody that's falling back just a little bit. Not slow by any means. This is a lot better than I would be driving in this situation, but you can see that his wheels turn a little bit more to make these turns, which tells me his tires are a little bit more worn off than Jennings is. So Jennings did a great job saving, which is allowing him to catch, make these passes like he's doing right here on Justin McMahon.
Meaning now there are just 3 cars on the lead lap. Seth Fitzpatrick is about 8.7 seconds behind. Jamie Horn now 2.7 behind. I mean, this is commanding. This is about as dominating of a fashion as you can win a race if he's able to hang on to it here.
While this is going on, and I was hoping to hit this next caution, but just really quick, let's go to a recap to Darlington last week. It's like Jamie Horn was going to be your pole sitter there, or I believe it's St. Cour actually. Getting out to a good start, but there was very few cautions last week. Only this minor incident with Shane Parrish pretty early on. We had this incident here that clicked with a few drivers, and then one more caution. But in the end, it was Adam Thompson who was able to pull away, and I mean, really just made a huge run at the end, dominated, and took the win for his first win in the Group 6 Cup Series. So congrats to Adam Thompson on last week's win at Darlington.
He ran a great race. He was extremely fast all night long. And then we saw Seth Fitzpatrick bringing it home in second place in that race. He was trying to kind of reverse his strategy, where from the race at Homestead where he was out in front and they were trying to run him down, and he was trying to run down Adam Thompson last week and just wasn't quite able to make it happen. Just a couple laps short, I would say.
Jennings is still out here just putting it down.
He is. We are on lap 244 here. Jamie Horn back to 4.8 seconds. Seth Fitzpatrick, 10.3. Justin McMahon is in 4th. Eric Anderson 5th. Adam Thompson in 6th. Five to go this time by.
Pull up a track map here just so we can see just kind of how spread out we are on this track already. Just everybody running the race at different parts of the track right now. These are highlighted by position. As you can see, Jennings first place in that 25 car there. Going into turn 1 now. And then Jamie Horn in second place is just now entering turn 1 now. Just to show the separation between first and second. I mean, this has been dominant.
Yeah, I mean, I believe this is the first race I've ever seen where over the course of a green flag run, we've had, you know, all but the top 3 go a lap down. It's pretty crazy.
And if this race finishes like it does right now, our podium winners will all be on the lead lap and everybody else will be a lap down.
That's
Final
pretty
lap
insane.
here. Jonathan Jennings wheels it around, going to take Bristol for his first win in the Group 6 Cup Series. Jamie Horn coming around for second place. Third place, Seth Fitzpatrick. And what do you know, a lap down, but still catching fourth, Adam Thompson.
It's a hell of a run out of Adam Thompson there to bring that thing home in fourth, but Jonathan Jennings going to be your winner here for the Nap Daddy Racing 250 at Bristol and in dominating fashion.
Let's see it burn him down. Seth Fitzpatrick, give him a little love there.
And burn it down, young man. Well earned. He still got gas in the car to burn it down. He was good. Oh, having the Dodge cars are still finishing the race, and oh, there goes Chris Leftwich's hood.
That was Mike, and for the people watching for the first time, Mike Leftwich. Kind of characteristic for him when Jennings wins, which is not uncommon. Jennings is a frequent winner here in the Doghouse Racing League, but Mike always gives him a big old love tap. More like a love smash after every win.
There's Jonathan giving you some content.
Oh, we love it. After this update that came about a month ago, you can actually pull into pit road up here at Bristol, make your way up the ramp and onto the winner's circle. Not pit road, but this winner's circle here. We also discovered in some testing of our own, if you're fast enough, you can jump that ramp and launch your car right to the grandstand.
Started the race as Jonathan Jennings, ended it as Travis Pastrana. So, oh, and there goes Mike. Mike wants to get a taste of that as well, but dominating is just the only thing I can think of for Jonathan Jennings there. But we are going to work on getting all of our drivers up here into the booth for an interview, but before we get there, want to make sure that we shout out our sponsors one more time. Again, this is the Group 6 Cup Series. Huge shout out to Group 6 for being the Cup Series sponsor for the Doghouse Racing League here. Group 6 is a leading creative agency. They are passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com and see how they can drive your digital success. Special thanks to Group 6 for being the series sponsor this year. This was the Nap Daddy Racing 250 here at Bristol that you just saw Jonathan Jennings take in dominating fashion. Myself and John actually make up Nap Daddy Racing, originally a iRacing design shop started in 2024. We have expanded to try to be your one-stop shop for all of your iRacing needs. Check out the website at napdaddyracing.com for all of your custom design, template, or logo needs. And be sure you grab some of the free content we have up there on the site as well. If you're not into iRacing and you just want to help support the boys here, be sure to grab a t-shirt or a hat, and that really helps support us as well. Check us out here on Doghouse Racing TV on Thursdays, on our YouTube channel, Nap Daddy Racing on Mondays, and live on TikTok as often as we can. we are very proud, myself and John, to be a part of the Doghouse Racing League. Doghouse Racing League is also very proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. We are also very proud to be sponsored by Butt Kicker. If you want to take your iRacing experience to the next level, get the top of the line gaming haptic hardware that Butt Kicker offers over at their website, which is thebuttkicker.com. Huge shout out to them for being a sponsor as well. Over in the comments, I see Adam Thompson in there saying, pull me up to the booth. I drove up from 4th from a lap down. Andrew St. Cor also in there, congratulating Adam on a great run. Really great racing these guys tonight, man. It was really, really impressive to see these guys hold it down. Obviously, you had Jonathan Jennings pulling away with it at the end, but everyone else kept their head down and fought through it. I know we talked about Adam a couple times there on the stream, keeping his head down and pushing forward after that caution and fighting up to a 4th place finish.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can actually get Adam here. He was in the Doghouse waiting room for a second and then just dropped out. So I'm trying to see if he'll come back in here. I don't think Seth Fitzpatrick is going to join us for a 3rd place interview tonight. But with that said, we're just going to jump straight over to Jamie Horn. Let's try to get Jamie pulled up here. There you go. Hey Jamie, you got us in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome back to the booth. You've been up here quite a few times this season. Great run tonight here at Bristol. Just coming up a little short here, but I'm trying to figure out, was it the beginning, was it more of a tire saving strategy from the first lap? Because the beginning you were very, very fast. I didn't know if something happened. I know you took some damage earlier.
I was trying to save tires at the beginning, and then everybody moved up to the top lane, and I was like, well, shoot, guess I gotta go up there and run harder than what I wanted to. And I should have not done that at the end of the race, but it was one of those, I knew I was burning my tires up, and it just felt too good at the time to slow down. I couldn't tell myself to do what I needed to do.
Yeah, we noticed as the race kind of went on, you were kind of drifting more and more to the high side and kind of wall riding there. Do you think there's much of a speed difference between top and bottom?
Yeah, top side is definitely a whole lot faster. You get a much better run off of the corners. It's just, I mean, I know it eats your tires up, so you gotta run it just right to be able to run up there and not burn them up. And honestly, during practice all week, I haven't run the top but a little bit because I kind of figured we'd all be running the bottom, but had to adjust my strategy when we got in the race. It kind of flipped on me.
Yeah, for sure. I guess your charter driver, Zach Michael, had a really good run, especially at the beginning. He was hauling through there all the way to the front, ran into some bad luck. You got any thoughts on the team and how Zach performed tonight? He was stuck with it all night, even after taking the damage, stuck in there.
Yeah, he was doing really well there, the first half of the race, and I'm not exactly sure what happened when he got spun around. I hate it for him. It seems like every week lately he's been getting into something that he had no doing of, and so hopefully he'll get that monkey off his back and he can get out there and have a good night coming up next or 2 weeks from now. But it's kind of a wild card. I think it's Talladega next, right?
It is Talladega. I was going to see how you thought going there. We just raced 3 hard tracks between Martinsville, Darlington, and Bristol. Now we're having a week off before we're going to Talladega. How's the mentality change going to a big track like that?
So I'm good at the super speedways. I can, you know tell when a run's happening, where to put my car and stuff. But I always get caught up in something that I had no doing of and get taken out. So I usually don't have the best luck and finish well. So you know, I, I'm not gonna say where what might happen. I don't want to jinx myself, but I don't go into those races thinking I'm gonna win. I just try to survive, and having a good night tonight helps with the points. That way, if something does happen next week or 2 weeks from now, that I got some points banked up. But yeah, I like the track. Just not a fan of the racing sometimes.
Yeah, so well, I definitely know what you're talking about between bad luck. Seems to find me every week as well, so I totally understand it. But looking forward to 2 weeks from now. Looking forward to a week off. I know you are as well doing the broadcast for Sunday nights as well. But anybody you'd like to thank or any sponsors? We'll let you go.
Uh, thank everybody on my team with the SR and HSR, all the practice everybody's putting in. Trying to get better each week. Shout out to Group6 coming on board as a sponsor, and we appreciate them and everything they do, and Shoney's and Trackside and Auto Pros. If I'm forgetting somebody, I apologize. But all our sponsors, thank you guys for broadcasting it and doing a great job each week. Love going back and watching it. Congrats to Jonathan on the win.
Yes, sir. Well, we will see you in 2 weeks, and good luck to you. Congrats on tonight's podium.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
You too. That was Jamie Horn, going to be finishing second place tonight. We do not have Seth Fitzpatrick coming up to the booth for an interview, but we do have your first place finisher in Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got a copy with us?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, man, congrats on the win tonight. Very dominant run. We were in your cockpit view watching your wheel. Tell us about your tire saving strategy. It looked like you were able to keep that wheel tape near the top, even late in the run.
Oh, well, the first half of the race, there really wasn't a tire saving strategy. I had several guys go by me on the outside because I was wanting to save tires on the bottom, and then the cautions kept coming out, and I didn't want to get shuffled too far back, so I had to start ripping the top. And then we had that one green flag run, and the caution come out, and when we got to green, I was like, I better save a little bit of tire. I lost some spots, but it paid off 'cause I was able to drive back by them.
Yeah, it
And
looked.
luckily the caution didn't come back out, so it worked out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the really good green flag run there at the very end. Uh, it allowed you to pass everybody but the top three drivers, which is kind of crazy to see. But I was going to ask you which line that you prefer the most. I know from racing with you a little bit, I've seen you run that bottom line a lot and tear it up, but you were just as fast on the high side. Is there a line that you prefer? Or you just go where the wind takes you?
Saving tires, I prefer the bottom, but if it's caution filled, then I have to go where the speed's at, try to maintain track position, and try to time when the race will go green. That's kind of how it went tonight. Yeah, that's the high side defeats up your right front more than the bottom.
Yeah, and on these restarts, I believe Zach Michael was in the lead. It looks like you had a little bit slower of a jump. Was he jumping before you thought, or just not timing it up right?
I think it's hard to judge, right? I got people in my chat, teammates, and it's just hard to time it, and you don't want to jump it. And one of them, I think I started in second because it started spinning up on me, so I didn't want to spin in front of everybody.
Yeah, well, definitely a dominant run here tonight. Going to Talladega, not next week, but the week after. Give us your thoughts on Dega. I know it's kind of a lottery system; anybody can win it, but anything specific you're looking for there?
Probably the wall.
Yeah.
That's normally how those go for me, but I like Dega. I like all the tracks, but my luck at the bigger plate tracks are not the best. So hopefully it changes. I'll do my best.
Yeah. Well, any shout outs or sponsors you want to give before we let you go here?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast. All the admins and people that help with the league, and all the league sponsors, Johnny's, Group 6. Hold on, I'll get to the sponsors in a minute. True Patriot. Oh, I'm not sure what that racing design's name is. I think you know.
Yeah, they're nobodies. Don't worry about them.
SSR Designs, Butt Kicker, Patent Buildings, Engine 4 Company, just everybody that helps with the league, and my teammates, of course, with all their hard work and dedication to practice. This wouldn't happen.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations on your win. I expect to see you here a lot more for this series. I know I've seen you way too much in the Sunday night and Tuesday night series up at the front. So, first win here on Thursday nights. I expect to see you here at least 2 or 3, 4 or 5 more times before the season's over.
Well, let's start with 2 first.
Yeah. All right, man. Have a good night. Congratulations.
You too. Thank you.
That's Jonathan Jennings, your winner here tonight at Bristol. Also won the pole as well. That silly little design company he talked about happened to be Nap Daddy Racing, not SSR Design. He followed it up conveniently with that, made it look I was writing off our SSR Designer, our very own Hunter Simpson's companies here. So definitely not shout at SSR Design. Thank you for their sponsor. But yeah, we are sponsoring tonight's race. And happy to be here, happy to be part of the league. But coming up next, I have Adam Thompson sitting in the waiting room. Had a fast run, drove it up near the front at the very end. Adam, you got a copy with us?
Fellas,
Welcome back.
how are we doing?
Asking you shall receive, huh?
I just wanted to talk to you guys. I always have fun talking to you. Pull me out. I want to talk.
I appreciate it.
Dang, man. I needed a caution.
I think we said that all right over the stream. We're like, I think there's a couple people out here, probably Jonathan Jennings, who's 2.5 seconds in the lead at that point and lapping everybody, who would really prefer not to have a caution. And I was like, I bet Adam Thompson is just absolutely thinking of deities right now to pray.
I was like, who can I wreck? And I'm like, oh, that won't do any good because then I'll get an incident point, won't get the lucky dog. Yeah, I was trying to think of everything. But did you see my wreck?
We did. I believe that was the one with Zach Michael.
Yeah, what'd you call it on the broadcast?
Hunter asked me the same thing, and I'm not sure if it was just...
It could have been both.
Yeah.
I think it's an incident. He didn't go all the way to the wall, and I came up expecting him to.
Yeah, I mean, I know he was a few laps down. We were kind of talking about it. He could have gave it the spot, but on the other hand, like, I applaud him for actually racing to the end, even when being laps down, trying to get it back or trying to fight for points there. I could have just went either way for me. It just seemed like a racing incident. Just Bristol.
Yeah. Well, it was a good race once we got all the cautions out of our system.
Yeah, we were looking to see if you had some banana peels inside of your car that you were going to start throwing out to get a caution down. Try to get that lucky dog back.
I was throwing bottles in the house, but it wasn't working. So, well, I'll let you boys go. I know you need to wrap it up, but hope everyone enjoyed the race. You guys have a good night.
But do you want to thank any sponsors or anything? Let you go.
Man,
While we got
I'd
you
like
here?
to thank the old banana peel, but it didn't work out. Yeah, but thanks to Ryko, they do my sets for me, and thanks to you guys for putting on the show, and thanks to Doghouse, and that's it. I don't want to talk too much.
Well, we appreciate it, man. Before we let you go, just one last time, how are we going to do it Dega next week?
Dude, is it Dega? Let's go. I love Dega. Yeah, no, I think, well, it's a restrictor plate race. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll go green. If not, maybe 1 or 2 cautions tops.
We got to avoid the big one, but again, great run tonight, man. Building yourself up quite the Doghouse Racing League resume, and I expect to see you up here talking to us plenty more times here before the year's over.
All right, boys. Thanks for putting up with me.
Oh, no problem. We'll have you anytime.
Anytime.
All right, see you, boys.
See ya. Adam Thompson finishing 4th place tonight. First car a lap down, but also just 4th place. Got into a little bit of an incident a little early on. Able to drive it back. I mean, impressively drive it back, I should say, too. Just wheeling.
Yeah, 100% was going to be a challenger for the win tonight. Had he not been involved in the caution, had a rocket ship here tonight. I mean, considering the pace that Jonathan Jennings was putting cars a lap down, I think in that last green flag run, he lapped 13 people. And Adam Thompson, every time someone gets lapped, he has to get up there and pass them. So it wasn't like he was just sitting back there waiting for a caution. I mean, he was having to drive the wheels off of it to get back up there and get in that 4th spot.
And I mean, he did drive the wheels off of it too. I was surprised he still had something left in the tank after doing all that and pushing it so hard. But yeah, he was able to push his way back and finish in 4th place after that incident there. I don't know if he took damage. Probably should have asked him while he was here. But no, I mean, just insanely good run. Always like the people that stick around even after a wreck, you know, and try to get their points back, try to get a lap back. And he showed why you should do that tonight. So very impressive, especially after last week. We know that he's got the talent and the speed. Somebody we weren't able to get to tonight is Seth Fitzpatrick, who finished in 3rd place. This man has been knocking on the door of a win for a few races now. I mean, just close.
I mean, he's just kind of the epitome of silent but deadly. I don't think we've had a chance to really talk to him in the booth too much, and that's now his 3rd or 4th top 3 finish. And, you know, 2 of those, he's been somewhere between 1 and 3 laps away from actually finishing it in 1st. I mean, he has really been putting on a show here the past couple weeks, and he's always kind of qualifying right there in the top 10, fighting his way through, and is always right there at the end. So super impressive out of him. Yeah. Love the chrome on that car too.
Absolutely. The pig. I used to have a t-shirt that said I'm sticking with the pig. I also want to, before we leave out of here, talk about Eric Anderson as well tonight, finishing P5. A very impressive run, picking up a top 5 finish here. He was good in practice too. I remember when we jumped into the practice session, I think he had the fastest time for a little bit. And that wasn't early on. That was later on in the practice session too. So was I surprised to see him at 5th place? No, not after that. And I know Eric is very consistent driver. I mean, just consistently doing the right things and going through it and stuff. But yes, I'm excited for Eric. Good finish by him tonight. Great guy. Always very positive. You love to see that. I don't think I've ever seen a negative comment come out of him in the group in the league here.
He's an absolute champion in the Discord.
A gem, a true gem, if you had to name one. But yeah, excited for Eric. So congrats to him on that top 5 finish.
But on to Dega. I did see Andrew St. Cole before we get out of here saying bring on Dega. But again, before we get out of here, one last huge shout out to all of our sponsors. Group6 for being the series sponsor. Thank you very much. Again, seems like shameless self-promotion, but we are the race sponsors for this, for the Nap Daddy Racing 250. Myself and John are Nap Daddy Racing, so be sure to check out our website if you get a chance. And then also, again, huge shout out to all the other sponsors, Shoney's, Butt Kicker, all the other guys that help make this thing go round. We feel truly, truly blessed to be in the broadcast booth for these guys, always putting on a great show. So on to Dega next week.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the comments there, St. Cor is always fast at Dega. He's always right there with his teammate Kevin. Looking forward to seeing what they can put out there next week. But anyways, moving on from that, that has been Bristol for the Nap Daddy Racing Designs 250. Can't wait for, not next week for our break, but the week after when we get back to Talladega. Got some exciting things planned for that. So until then, I have been John.
And I have been Hunter.
And we will see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody.